Hey yo, what's up?
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jessie, this is Benjamin, my husband, and we do videos all about lifestyle, wellness, whatever the hell we're doing in life. So if you're interested, make sure that you stick around and subscribe. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's also probably one of the scariest videos I've ever made, decisions I've ever made.
Hashtag vulnerable.
Yeah, you will be seeing this video in a couple weeks from now. You won't be seeing it quite yet, but we're still in the mountains of North Carolina, which you guys would have seen a vlog about this by now. But yeah, so the decision, which I feel like if you've watched any of my other vlogs, you might not be super surprised by this.
Probably not.
But we've decided that I am going to be leaving my job. Without a plan, without a nest egg, and we're scared shitless.
Yeah, basically.
It's been a decision a long time in the making. I feel like we've talked about this for a while. Like, my long-term vision for a long time has always been to work for myself or work for a company that we have or be a stay-at-home mom. I've just always known that it was going to be like more surrounding us and our family versus necessarily working corporate. But recently, in the last 2.5 years that I've been at the job that I'm at, it got to the point where I could no longer handle it, and Benjamin could no longer handle supporting.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense from a family perspective.
Yeah. And I do want to first throw out the whole gratitude, toxic positivity stuff. We're all about that life, the gratitude lists, and I'm very grateful that my job has given me the opportunity to work from home and to move to North Carolina, and it supported us when Benjamin was really sick, and it supported his business starting off. And we've always been grateful about that, but I do think that, you can glaze over and be grateful for something that's literally killing you. And it got to the point with me that it was starting to be just that.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of come to a point over, we had a conversation probably a year ago, probably to this day or close to, that Jessie, we were going to make sure she was leaving sooner rather than later. Things got a little bit better after that. It's just kind of been ebbs and flows, but over the past few months, we've basically been planning for her to leave at the end of the year. And then I had some stuff go down a couple weeks ago, and it was just too much. It was just kind of everything. Straw. Yeah, it was all these things, you can see, the surface is kind of bubbling. This stuff is there. This was kind of things just exploded and everything hit it's just been a matter of time, just been waiting for this to happen. So breaking point, and was okay, end of year is no longer going to work. Yeah. This has to end sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I can go into detail if anybody wants me to in a different video, but it's just a toxic environment for me. And I think, we've talked about before, just because something's toxic to me doesn't mean it's going to be toxic to Joe Schmo that takes over my job in 6 months. But for me, it was a very unsupportive space. It was a very unappreciated space. It was toxic, it never felt good. I was always nervous about going into work. I was always anxious on the weekends. I was wishing away my weekdays, wishing away my Sundays, and it got to the point where no day was safe from the anxiety that my job was providing. And it just, like Benjamin said, it kind of bubbled up to this breaking point that we just realized that I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and definitely just want to hammer that point home. Just because an environment or situation looks good on paper, job, relationship, friendship, friendship or romantic, place that you're living, community, that kind of thing. Anytime your environment isn't working for you, you don't have to feel bad about that. You don't have to feel guilty about that. You don't have to try to rationalize it away because on paper it looks perfect or it looks great.
Or it's a good salary, or it's got insurance.
If it's not working for you, it's important to acknowledge that, because when it's not. We all do. But when we have people around us telling us that it's great, or kind of guilting us into keeping that, or, oh, you should be grateful, the thing that Jessie mentioned, I see this a lot because of the work that I do with people, but we've also seen it in friends and things like that too. And it's just so important. If you are feeling like your environment, again, in any of those kind of like major aspects of your life, isn't working for you, but you're staying there because it seems like it's fine, like, work to change that and don't feel bad about that.
But then to put it in like reality terms, which is the reason that it's taken us so long for me to leave, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
We don't have $30,000 in the bank that we can, let Jessie go live her dreams watching HGTV or like becoming the next stay-at-home dog mom. Like we don't have that nest egg. We have debt. We, Benjamin
my
is
job,
still building his business.
Yeah, my business is still in the early phases. I'm doing well enough, but yeah, the inherent kind of uncertainty with a client-based business is still there. There's just a lot of things that are up in the air, things that aren't solid. We don't have this massive plan, and the really important thing that I want to mention around this is that it's not because we are these crazy, like, fly by the seat of our pants people.
No.
We are both very plan-driven, goal-oriented, achieving types, where it's like we like to have this stuff laid out.
Yeah, I'm an Enneagram 3. He's a Wing 3. So it's there.
But there are certain things that, or at certain points, you just have to go. You have to make the leap, and you have to do that. Like, you're not going to get to a point, rarely, that you're going to feel is perfect timing or an ideal situation. And again, this is kind of like what I see from people is they wait and wait and wait until this like breaking point, and it's like, what do we do now?
But I know that there's so many people that are probably going to comment on this video or say this. I've said this 1,001 times. Benjamin has said this. But we don't have enough money. But you're the breadwinner. But we don't have enough savings. But we don't have a backup plan. I don't have another job lined up. I have one freelance client lined up. Like, in fact, when we talk about it, I still think that we're fucking crazy, honestly. But I think it got to the point for me where I was like, what's more crazy? Taking this leap, freelancing for a while, figuring my shit out. If I have to go back to a corporate job, then I have to go back to a corporate job. Is that crazier than wishing my life away for another year? Is that crazier than staying at a job to save up money for a house next year, but then I'm still working a job that makes me so sick and so unhappy that I can't even appreciate the house that I have? It got to the point where it's like, wait, which one is worse here? Which one is crazier? Staying at the job that's literally slowly killing you, or trying something that you've never tried before? And there's a very big possibility that we could fail. There's a very big possibility that yo girl's gonna go need to work at Starbucks or like something, but like,
which is why it's terrifying for us to share this. So, please be gentle, just because it's not easy for us to put this out there, because we know that in 3 to 6 months, the plan is for us to keep sharing this, and for you guys to be able to have a full window, clear view of everything that's happening. That's terrifying because there's, it's scary enough for us
it's open
to
for
have
judgment,
right,
even from family.
Right. Well, and to have these conversations like one-on-one is scary. So then to like allow other people into this space is really tough. But we're thinking that we're going to get a lot out of this. We're hoping that you guys get a lot out of it, for anybody that's feeling similarly. And that's ultimately why we decided to share this, is that we know how many people are out there that feel similarly.
Well, and all the videos that I've ever watched, because I've sat and watched countless videos of people doing things that I wish I could do, or people quitting their job. And you know what? They all had 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 300. Or they have, $50,000 saved in the bank. Or their husband works as a VP of marketing and makes 7 figures. Or like all these, there's so many things where there's people that are like, yeah, I'm leaving my job, but they have a full-time income ready to go. And like, that's smart. That's so smart. And that's something that I've been working at, but just hasn't been happening for me because I'm so exhausted from my job. And so I've never seen a video of someone leaving their job, literally looking at the camera saying, I wouldn't say that we're ready. I wouldn't say that we have a plan. I wouldn't say any of those things.
Yeah. There's not even like the fallback plan thing.
We do have some plans.
Like, right. This isn't.
We do have some savings. It's a very small amount, but we do have some savings. I have a very marketable skill set. I have social media management experience, 10 years of it, marketing experience, writing experience, video editing, podcast editing, things like that. So I know that.
So if you need her, comment down below. Your girl needs work.
So I have skills like that are something that I can put out in the world, but I don't have all the clients lined up that are going to equate what my salary was before. So
no, and then too, like for me, I'm doing life coaching and some virtual in-person, some virtual training right now, but I haven't done any kind of like in-person personal training. So that's something that's kind of on the table there too, is I can always start to take on a little bit of that as well. But yeah, so there are some things that we know we have as options, but there isn't kind of like this week is this. Or I'm
transitioning to a job at a different company or something like that. It's not that.
Well, the whole idea here is give Jessie some space, allow her to kind of get her life back, feel what it feels like to
choose what I want to do each day.
Yeah, and go from there. And knowing that either one of us or us collectively could be pushed into something that doesn't feel comfortable. Into getting work that isn't ideal. But as Jessie was saying, why stay in a situation that you know isn't working for you? This at least gives us opportunity. It's terrifying, but it gives us opportunity. And I think the important thing that I like mentioning with this is new doors can only open once you've closed some other ones. You can't, if you're desperately wanting these other life experiences, desperately wanting to make money in other ways, to experience different things, you can't do that if you keep doing things the same way. And if your time and energy is put into the same basket over and over, how can you ever expect to do anything else? And the only way...
Isn't that like a saying? Like, you can't continue to do the same thing expecting a different outcome. That's like...
Yeah, insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
There it is. I kind of knew what I was talking about.
The only way you can do that is usually with some uncertainty. We're going with a lot of uncertainty. But usually you cannot get there without some.
The long-term goal for me has always been, before even having stressful jobs, like the long-term goal has always been for me to work for myself and or his business. When we have kids someday, I want to be able to stay home. I've always wanted to be able to create my own schedule. I've wanted to be able to work on the things that I feel creatively inspired to work on, to work for people that I feel creatively inspired to work for. So we've always known that this would come at some point. We just thought that it would be like, I've already built this business, or like Benjamin's bringing in, $13 million a year and I don't need to work. Like, we just thought we could wait until then. And it's to the point we just decided that we can't wait anymore. And like we said, there might be I'm sure there will be some bumps, and hopefully that long-term goal will happen, but we just are leaping a little bit sooner than we maybe had initially thought we would be.
maybe some of this resonates with you, maybe all of it resonates with you, maybe none of it resonates with
maybe
you,
think
and
we're
you're like,
fucking nuts.
you
That's
two
cool.
are insane and you're
Cool.
ridiculous.
We are.
But the point is, this is how we know how to live. It is to be true to ourselves and what we want, and this vision of what we think, and ultimately we know on a deep level that we can have for ourselves. We've only been together a few years, and we've made a lot of changes in our life. So it's like, what the fuck is another one?
Yeah. Things are going to be hard at any point in your life. Like, that's life. Life is hard sometimes. Yeah. And we've been through some really hard times together and apart. And it's just to the point where it got to the point for me where it was like, would I rather be doing something really hard that I know isn't my long-term vision and I know is killing me? Or would I rather try something else that's going to be really fucking hard, but might be my key to that bigger dream, or might be that key to getting my health back, or feeling better, or getting my creativity back so that I can do the things that I want to do and make this channel amazing and do all these things that I've always wanted to do. And it just got to the point where we're like, okay, we've been working at this other one for so long, and it's just, you can't do that anymore. We have to try something else. So that's what we're doing. You'll see this video probably after I've already left or in my last week, just because I don't want to like, you know, put this out there before I even tell like anyone at my work what's going on. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting ride for sure. We'll definitely share, and I think I even have some clips of like some of the difficulty and craziness that I've gone through.
And like crying and stuff, right?
Yeah, and just like how I've been feeling. So we'll try to share as much of the good and, you know, the bad and the ugly that could come with all of this stuff.
Exactly. The goal is not to spotlight anything,
put up this video and then put it up
like
when we're
beautiful that we're
doing.
The point is exactly what Jessie said, is to show you every single step of the way. So please, if this feels like aligned with you, like subscribe, like this video, stay tuned, follow us both on Instagram, like whatever, because really we're going to put as much of this out there as we possibly can until it becomes not healthy for us.
So let us know if there's anything specific you'd like us to go into. We are
please.
Planning to talk about like the money side of things and the, you know, the scared side of things, but also the exciting side of things. And, you know, any judgment or enthusiasm we get along the way, we'll definitely share. But yeah, so thanks for listening to our long-winded TED Talk about me leaving my job. It still doesn't feel real yet, but by the time you see this video, it'll be very real.
It'll be real.
So, but yeah.
We might have less chuckling next time. It might be more like,
I might be like sobbing
God,
on the floor, like what the hell did I do? But yeah, that's what feels right to us right now. So that's what we're planning to do, as long as we make it down this mountain safely.
True.
Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave us a comment down below about what you'd like to see on this journey, and we'll be sharing other things outside of just this on the channel as well, if this isn't something you care about. But yeah, thanks so much for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.